Back out on the Western Pizza guest hotline. Get yourself a Western Pizza wheel tonight. Why wouldn't a guy or girl? Always perfect. We teed this up earlier. Former Rider great Scott Schultz is joining us again. Okay, Schultz, I'm going to do this. We're going to do this Where Are They Now, which is usually on Wednesdays. It's for Floor Coverings International. You need new floors, get the Stars of Flooring, Floor Coverings International, locally owned mobile flooring showrooms. Thousands of choices, fclfloors.com. The reason we're doing Where Are They Now with you is because you are currently getting ready for a massive playoff game. The Greenall High School football team and Moose Jaw Central on Saturday. First year coaching this Greenall team?
First year coaching the high school team. I've been on the Bantam and Pee Wee teams previously. And yeah, we've got a great group of guys. We've got 41 guys on our roster, and we've managed to go 7-0. That's including one playoff win already.
2:30 Saturday at Leibel Field. What's the team made up of? If you give us a quick elevator pitch on the team.
We are a team of linebackers. We're all athletes. We're not the biggest. Every team is bigger than us, but I think we just showed that we've got great athleticism, great hustle, great attitudes. And we had a great season. I think we averaged about 50 points a game and giving up about 12 and a half points. And we had a rough go in our playoff game. We won 24-19. We were down 116 at half, but we held them out 3 points, and 23 points we scored in the second half to come back, win 24-19.
Let's give a shout out to the captains. Who are the guys that makes that team tick? The seniors and the captains on that team.
Right now it's Rogan Pipko. We've got Andrew Gronick. We've got Jake Ram, Chase Key. All guys, they're great. They're seniors. They've been waiting for this their whole lives. We're going to challenge for this provincial championship.
Right on there. So that now people know. If you're wondering what Schultz is doing, he's coaching little football. Greenall, that's the Where Are They Now feature for Floor Coverings International. See, perfect segue. Now let's get into the Riders. It's a weird one, right? It's a weird one on Saturday. Scoreboard watching the game before, kind of not knowing, what we got to do in the game. As a former player, how would you be tackling this kind of the mental gymnastics of it all?
You know what? The same old response for me. Focus on what's in front of you. Control what you can control. Get in and out like a fiddler's elbow, and hopefully you're healthy. And we live to fight another day. When you get into start playing the games and this and that and the other about who's going to play, and you're watching the scoreboard, what could happen. It takes something away from the most important thing, and that's what's going on the field.
So how do you approach that in the locker room? Like, are you on the phone? Is it on the TV? Are you just ignoring it? You're waiting for somebody else to maybe tell you? I mean,
be honest.
It has to be
honest. Be honest, Schultz.
Be honest. I would say, I'm always going to float around and see what's doing. But for the most part, I can remember times like that in my own career where, Ivan in the training room would have it on the TV. And, in the normal big locker room, it's not a big deal. And then if it happens, it kind of explodes, around the TV, and then slowly like a virus makes its way out and people start talking.
What do you expect? And I don't even know if you've been on the other end of it where you would be what the Stampeders are now coming in here. I got to think like there's going to be a lot of business decisions made by guys on that team that, hey, listen, it's one more game. I want to get out of this unscathed. What's your take on that?
Well, it's both, right? Like there's going to be guys like that's what you say, a guy's going to make a big hit, but then doesn't. Well, I made a business decision there. I didn't want to get ran over. But there's also going to be the guys that feel, man, this is another opportunity for me to put tape on. I'm likely not going to be here next year. I better go out there, get a couple sacks, better press the pocket. So it shows that even on a down team, I've got heart and I'm showing my skills.
That's the other thing I was going to say is that there's guys playing for jobs. They're professionals, right? There's guys playing for jobs. And whether they're jobs with the Stampeders or jobs elsewhere in the CFL, this is their last shot. Like they got it. This has to be a good game. They don't want to go into the off season on a stinker.
Yep. Well, and also, not to tie it to my high school stuff, but it's that feeling of like, your grade 12s, your seniors. Some of you guys are never going to play again. There's some guys in those locker rooms that they might be at the end of their football rope, or it's coming very closely, right? And so it's that whole idea of make the most of your opportunities, get out there and make something happen.
You guys are playing for jobs, right? There's always, you never know who's looking too, like Lakeview Insurance with Schultz, right? You guys could be looking for some passionate players, maybe post career. There's a
we're
plug
We're looking for all those guys to look after your farm and commercial needs.
Like this Rider team, really, it's a weird time for a bye. That bye week to come a week. Did you ever have anything like that, or how would you handle it?
Again, like I'm simple. Like I wasn't the most talented guy. I had to make my bones by hard work and film study and trying to find little angles, trying to find little ways to motivate myself. So when there was a bye week, I was in there watching film. I was in there working out, using the ice tub, using the hot tub, doing all the little things so that when I did get an opportunity, I could go out there, because that's one thing I held even to the bitter end was there's always someone nipping at your heels, and you're not promised tomorrow in pro sports.
Schultz, what's the vibe you get from this team? I don't know whether I'm talking myself into this, but I feel really good about just where they are going into the playoffs. They had that great start, and then they had that lull, which included a tie, and then they started to come back, and then you had guys coming back to the lineup from injury. I feel maybe it's me talking myself into it, like I said, or maybe I'm just being over optimistic, but I feel like things are going well for them right now, and maybe they're on this good path.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is? It's I think the attention to detail that the GM and the head coach have resolved themselves to. Yeah, there was a big slide there, and I think, you go back and you start looking at those things. Why are we dressing one way at the beginning of the year opposed to how things get, the dress code gets a little lax throughout the year. Did I do, my extra laps? Did I do my extra sprints? Did I do extra film work? I think they started focusing on those little things that they can control, because if you don't do those things, you get nothing. If you do those things, you can start building something. And I think that we're seeing the results of that. We're seeing the results of the guys pulling it together and coming together at the right time in the CFL season.
What do you have to say about most outstanding player nomination, Roland Milligan Jr.? League leading 8 interceptions, 6 all-time Riders. He's involved in 111 defensive plays this year. What's your take on him, Schultz?
I think he's a special player. I think it's tough for defensive players. Always has been in any league to win the MOP. If anyone could do it, it should be this guy. I'm a Rider homer. If he's the guy that's up for it, then that's who I'm going with. And it doesn't hurt that he's a defensive guy playing on my heartstrings. I don't think we'll ever see a 300-pound lineman up for that position. Maybe we'll see. I'll try to grease the wheels there, but I think the guy is just he's amazing. He's a guy that he excites the other players by his play, and he inspires. You can see him inspire players on the field with what he does.
What do you think happens in Montreal? Winnipeg going in, obviously needing a victory. Montreal stinks up the joint in BC. Are they going to play guys? How do you think that's going to go down?
Yeah, it's tough. If I was Montreal, if I was the guy making the decisions, I would be playing hard this game. Save, maybe your quarterback position and some of the other key guys, but you got to put them in for at least a solid quarter and get some work done, because sneaking it up in BC, you don't want to ride 2 of those into a bye week in the playoffs, and then it's somehow miraculously think you're going to show up for the final game.
Yeah, I was going to add to that. I mean, that's a long time, right, to be off, and you start adding in all those weeks. And as you say, if it's a stinker, well, then it's also this dark cloud of we played horrible the last time we were out. So there's a lot of things that go into it, as you said, Schultz. But yeah, the time off would be would be substantial.
Yeah. Well, and you think about also too, just the mentality of in football, it's all flash these days, and you're only as good as your last game, and it gives motivation to teams. Like, look what they did. If we're on our game, we can exploit them like that, and it just, all you need is a nugget as an opponent to get something in your craw or in your brain, and these high achievers most times go and achieve it, right? And we see it all the time in sports. So it's very dangerous. It's a lot of time to deal with. So I think you have to take that aggressively instead of, easing into it and trying to rest up, as they say.
In closing, I want to get your take on this. Greenall, your wagon you have there. I'm sure there's a few kids that are going to end up playing with the Regina Thunder. How about the Thunder knocking off the Hilltops into the national semifinal Sunday, 1 o'clock, Leibel Field against Okanagan? Beautiful thing, isn't it?
Our offensive coordinator, Steve Day's son, plays for the Hilltops. He's a receiver, and he's got 1 year left. And again, we talked about it. I'm like, Steve, I don't know, man. It's tough to beat a team 3 times. Oh, no, we're going to get them. And, of course, you saw what happened. So really exciting. Definitely have some players that want to go the junior route. We've got some guys. And to see guys at that level, you got two teams in the province that are just unbelievable. It's kind of a 2-team league when you look at it. They go out and smash everybody else. But, for them to get the bragging rights and for all the great work that the guys like Murad El-Khatib and his team and all that they've built behind the scenes, it's well-desered.
We got some spots for the Greenall linebackers in Saskatoon with the blue and gold as well, too. So, yeah, I'm sure Tom Sargent wouldn't mind a few.
We'll edit that part out. Okay. If anyone likes listening to Schultz, you can always call Lakeview Insurance and get your needs handled there. Okay, good luck in the big game for against Moose Jaw Central. And let's maybe do this again next week.
I can't wait. Looking forward to it, guys.
See you later.
Thanks,
There's Rider great. Scott Schultz also coaching Balgony or Greenall. That's your old alma mater. Hey, Coulson.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever suit up?
1 year. I played left bench.
Left bench.
Yeah.
Left
right
bench.
on.
Need that guy. Need that guy.
Your glue guy.
The raw guy.
Glue guy
Glue
in the
guy,
locker room. So, there we go. Schultzy, always a pleasure to have on. It is the all-new SportsCage. Time for a quick break. Here, if you're watching the stream, thank you very much. SportsCage.com. And as always, we are on the home of football in Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM.